finally back with part 2 for this thrift flip, which has already taken me 2 years. So 2 years ago, Emily sent me a bunch of clothes along with those beautiful scarves, and I made her one item, and then the scarves just sat in this box in my closet for 2 years. So these are the scarves I worked with in the first video, and here's what I turned them into. And then there was the butterfly scarf, one that I put off until the absolute very last minute because I loved it so much. It was so pretty. The pressure of turning it into something wearable was huge. This is probably the first item that someone has sent me that I've genuinely contemplated asking them if I can just keep it. I loved it so much. Ironing is probably my favorite part of any sewing project, which I know sounds kind of lame, but not only do smoothing out the wrinkles just really soothe my brain, but it's a great part in the process because I'm being productive, but without having to commit to anything, or there's really almost no chance for making a mistake in this step. Like, as long as my iron is not too hot, this is my zen moment. And then there is the most stressful part in any sewing project, which is the cutting. For this scarf, I wanted to try and do sort of like zero waste design. So luckily the cutting was pretty minimal. And then I just started draping kind of some rough ideas I had. I had an idea to make this convertible, so she could, if she wanted to, cross these front panels, or she could leave them just hanging down. But in order to do that, I would have to do some sort of closure with like a hook and eye, a button, something so she could attach it and then unattach it. So I finished all the raw edges, made a little armhole, and then really the only thing I had to do was create this attachment part. And that's when disaster struck. Things really took a turn when I decided to put a button and a buttonhole on here. I know better. I know this is not the kind of fabric that can support a button or a buttonhole. I know better. And yet what did I do? I did it anyway. I put backing on there that was horrible and you could see it, and it made it way too thick to even use with the button. So I hit a roadblock. I felt really bad. I felt really stuck. And then I just kind of let the project sit again for even longer, which I know I shouldn't have, but I just let it sit because I didn't want to think about it. So finally got up the courage and we go back to the stare phase, where I just stare and stare and stare, and I got an idea. Okay, little butterfly patch to the rescue. I covered up my mistake, and this is how it turned out. You just gotta roll with it and leave room to improvise. So now this is a surplus top, like these cool little negative space triangles on the side, and that's where the butterfly saved me. And here it is in that cool, like, moody influencer Instagram lighting that they do, which it actually looks good. You can leave now unless you want to see me pack a box. One of the first things I flipped for Emily were some sentimental teas, and she said, since they're sentimental, if you don't mind saving all the scraps and send it back to me. And I said, of course, no problem. So I just wanted to organize them all, and this was actually really satisfying, sorting them and organizing them, putting them into little bags, and just, yeah, trying to fold nicely her finished pieces that I was also sending to her. I think I need to order some garment bags or something because it just felt wrong to put those nice scarves just in a raw cardboard box. Lastly, I just get to write a cute little note. This is probably my second favorite part besides the ironing, because it's just so relaxing. I get to play with markers, which I never really do. Here's everything ready to go back to her. Really